Good evening, all. Hope you're all doing well. It is October 2021, the 10th month of this year. It has been a roller coaster of a year with its ups and downs, but we are all alive, we're all blessed, and I'm so grateful for that. Today, I would like to share from a very familiar verse in this series on faith, food, family, and friends. So let's get straight into it. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 9 says, "And he has said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is perfected in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather boast in my weaknesses, that the power of Christ might tabernacle over me." This is from a passage where Apostle Paul asks for a thorn in his flesh to be removed. Now, there are different opinions of what that thorn could have been. That's not our point of discussion today. I would like to talk about this verse in relation to the topic of ministry. And so I'm going to share some of my personal experiences this evening. In the church setup that I grew up in, ministry was attributed to certain conditions of perhaps not working in a secular job, pastoring a church, perhaps traveling as an evangelist or missionary, your income either uncertain or very less, when compared to that of a secular job, and where your trust is on anything other than a secular job. The Bible does talk about the fivefold ministry and even offices within the church. In today's churches, we have different offices or different functions that are assigned to be a ministry. These are individual functions which should have their own vision, but also aligned to the vision of the home church. The worship teams, kids church, youth and young adults ministries, connect groups or care cells or home groups as they are known as in different countries, the sound and media, and many more. Now, if you consider that all of these are offices that are not just doers, but contributing to the vision of the church, then they are additional ministries that are very unique to the current church. And so that introduction was to take you into the segment where I wanted to speak from the verse that we read initially and remind us of what it means to have the strength of God manifest in our weakness in ministry. I lead worship and support in coordinating the worship team in our church. When assigned the job of leading worship or even the team, I did and still do think about the limitations that I as a person have. Not knowing how to play an instrument, a musical instrument, no formal training in singing or music whatsoever, other than an inborn and perhaps some learned ability to sing and be in tune, a heart to worship, and a love for Jesus. I do not have any strengths of my own. Ministry is not about your strength being manifest. Even in your weakness, His strength will be manifest. His glory will be revealed, and we can say, truly, glory to God alone. Personally, I encountered this very recently. And so I'm going to share one of my very recent experiences. About 3 months back, in the state that I'm in, so I live in Sydney, Australia. At the end of June this year, we went into lockdown. And though it was legal for us to go into church and stream our services online via via YouTube, we decided to do it online via Zoom, meaning people log in from their individual homes, as the effort for our team to do the setup and broadcast and tear down was just strenuous. And most of the team lived in local government areas that had additional restrictions. And so we had to do everything, including lead worship, from within our home, not able to meet up with others for any sort of support. For the first month or so, I used the fact that I cannot play an instrument as an excuse to not lead worship. I was perhaps more concerned about how it would sound rather than what worship was about. But I said yes after about 3 weeks with reluctance. And I remember him telling me, him that is God, telling me, this is not about you. And so as I select songs, as I do my audio setup, which is my computer and mic and my pepper shaker on Sundays, I'm reminded yet again that it is His glory that is revealed through the hands and legs and voices of those who say yes. If you were good and knew or felt you were good, you would rely on your strength to manifest how well you do. For the strength to be manifest, for His strength to be manifest, and His glory to be revealed, it is possible by His grace and in our weakness. As a ministry leader, we do look at the skill and ability of a person to take on a role when we induct them into our teams. But God looks at the heart. As you, the anointed one, says yes, He equips you and uses you for His kingdom to be revealed, for hearts to be reconciled with the Father, for lives to be restored, for healing, for regeneration. The Lord dropped the word regeneration into my heart as I was preparing this. And so as you speak creative power, it's not the number of words or the emotion behind it or any of the external, but it is the power and the authority that He has given you, so that when you just declare the testimony of Jesus, when you declare what He has done, it is the spirit of prophecy, as mentioned in Revelations chapter 19, verse 10. Testimony in Hebrew, in the Hebrew language, is the word adut, meaning one of my favorite songs. More about that another time. Adut, meaning do it again. It is not focused on the past. It is speaking about what has been done and what will happen again. More on that another time as promised. Before we close for tonight, quick recap. His grace is sufficient for us because His strength is made perfect in our weakness. And so don't look at your limited ability as a hindrance, but rather as an opportunity for His strength to be manifest. I have seen that and continue to see that in my life. I believe that many of you watching and listening would be able to relate. And if not, if you have looked at your limitation to say no to what has been entrusted to you, why don't you receive this word? His grace is sufficient for you, for His strength is made manifest in our weakness. Until next time, God bless you. Have a blessed week. See you around.